Hello, Zyogtes. It's been such a long time, but I am back with another episode of the VanFetus podcast. I am your host, Layla. Oh my goodness, it has been so long. So much has happened. So many things have been learned. I have got such a story time for you. So let me just jump right in because this might be like short and sweet until I get my swing of things back. I'm going to start making podcasts more. I just got to be in the mood, to start talking to nobody, quote unquote nobody, but I'm staring at a blanket hanging from my shelf right now. And I do that for insulation. One of the things that I've learned is to keep your van cool on the inside. You just throw a blanket up. It's very nice. The budget increased. Can you hear it? I added music. Ooh, much soothing. Very elevator music. Tranquil. Yeah, I just figured there'd be something better in the background with a little bit of tunes. So, kick back, relax. I'm playing. Let's get into this first trimester. So first topic of the first trimester is going to be about tow trucks. I never thought I would need to ever interact with a tow truck as much as I have in the past, October or September? 2 months. 3 months. It's crazy. I've never had to be towed a day in my life until I bought this wonderful, expensive ass van. Gosh. So the first time I had to call a tow truck, I actually got stuck in mud. I was at a Harvest Host, and the guy was ushering me down to this nice little silo barn. It was very cute, very Instagrammable, red door, the whole nine. I was like, yeah, I want to park by the van. And he was like, okay, you sure you don't want to park by this other place? There may be electricity. I was like, bump that. I'm fine for a night. I want to park next to the picturesque ass van or fucking the barn. So I went over there, parked under the tree. Beautiful. Started to rain a little bit. Not a problem. I'm in a van. It's no big deal. Next morning, y'all, I wake up. I am sludging. I was like, why can't I move my wheels? It's a little sunken in. Lo and behold, tried to drive it out. Olive was stuck, like knee deep. Check my Instagram at VanFetus. You can see I posted about it, trying to dance the pain away. But I was so stuck. Like 3 out of my 4 tires were buried. Almost like the side where I step in on the side, it was almost level to the ground. They make these vans so low, and that's like with Thor, it really burns my gears. If you're listening, Thor Motor Coach, it burns my freaking gears. Burns the toast. Burns like a venereal disease. Yes, it does. Because why is my van 2 inches off the ground? Am I driving a sedan? I didn't know Toyota's made vans. Like, come on now, Dodge, get it together. I digress. So I got stuck in the van, called the tow truck, boom, pulled me out. He pulled me out on one of those crucified Jesus cross things on the back of them tow trucks. I never knew what they were for. They hook onto the back of your shit and they yank you out. Like your mama did you at church when you was cutting up with your friends and yanked you out. I was like, wow. A half a second I thought I would tip over. But it was great. Got some not free, I lied. It was $15. I got some honey out of it, like fresh from the actual bee's ass. So that was cool. The guy had a bee farm in the back. Who knew? So that was the first time. The second time, oh my God, I got stuck in Georgia. Hot ass Georgia. In the middle of an intersection. Thank God it was a big intersection, like not so busy street, like so they could turn around me. It wasn't like a hard, like cement median blocking. But I got pulled. Oh my God, it was so bad. I broke down and my coolant level was like high, and I've never had my engine overheat in my life. Never. So when it said it was high, I said, okay, bitch, go take a walk. If you're that high, why don't you get some munchies, sit down, and then let the time pass and you'll be fine. I Googled it real quick, pulled over when the light came on, and it said coolant temperature high. Okay, pulled over, waited 15 minutes per the Google, and then after that, I'm like, okay, I think I can make it to a dealership because the thing kept going back up, and then Google said if it keeps going back up your temperature, you're not supposed to drive it, period. And at that point I was driving back to North Carolina from Georgia, so that's about 6 hours. So I had to drive to the nearest dealership. The nearest dealership was 7 miles away. I was like, I can do this. If I drive really slow and I just like concentrate, thank God it's like 6 a.m, nobody else is out, it'll be fine. So I get maybe 0.3 miles away from the freaking Dodge dealership. I see the sign. I can see the front door of the service. I'm like, I'm right here. And then all of a sudden, power steering starts to go. Everything starts to get real rigid. I'm like, oh my God, the van's not even moving. It just creaks to a stop. So I just yeet my way over to the side of the right turn lane as much as I could, because a homegirl was not moving. She was hella stuck. The last time I broke down I was in August when I broke down in Georgia, like Labor Day weekend. What is that, like 3 weeks later? I broke down outside of my friend's house because apparently the radiator fan wasn't working properly or some shit. I don't know. The first dealership I went to in Georgia was trash. Absolute trash. I'll have to make a separate video or a podcast about how trash that place was. But I think they fucked up something when they were working on my shit. It took them weeks to work on it, and they still fucked it up. So yeah, that was something. But the third time I broke down, I was on my way to freaking Firefly, the music festival. I was gonna see St. John, Dua Lipa, Green Day, My Chemical Romance. I was gonna see all these freaking people for a whole Thursday to Sunday kind of thing. I was going for a mini Woodstock vibe, I'm gonna, go outside in the woods, be with the animals type shit, And the good music. And I went last year by myself, so I know it's legit. It exists. It's in the middle of Delaware. I don't know nothing about Delaware except that's where Joe Biden crawled out of. I don't think he goes back anytime, but So we broke down because the same coolant issue, and we didn't even leave the city. I think we were in Raleigh. We didn't even leave Raleigh. So thank God we could have broke down and bumfuck somewhere on the way to Delaware. So that was a time. And every single time I broke down, I called Good Sam. I didn't call AAA because they're so individual, independent. Every single state has a special kind of AAA. So I think I had mine in Virginia still. And I was in North Carolina, so they were acting like they didn't know me. They were like, girl, you don't exist. Who are you? You're not one of us. So I'm like, great, I ain't one of them. So I called Good Sam. Good Sam is the RV, and they do regular cars too. They're just the same as AAA, but so much nicer, so much easier to use. And they have a special plan that's called the Extended Mechanical Breakdown Plan. If you don't have that shit, you are sleeping. You have sleep apnea. You have narcolepsy. You're just asleep. Okay, you need to get that extended warranty plan because my engine got messed up, and my brand new engine, not, don't even get me started on the warranty bullshit, but it was so expensive to fix. If that had happened while I had this Good Sam program, they would have covered it, paid my little deductible, not a problem. They would have just covered it for me. So if you don't have it, please go get it right now. At Good Sam, wherever Good Sam exists, I don't fucking know, but y'all need to get up on the Good Sam. They're really great for towing. They're really great for roadside assistance. They're just amazing. So yeah, I would like to have a moment of silence for the amazing time I would have had at Firefly had my van not broken down and ruined my life that weekend. Thank you so much for that. All right, moving on to the second trimester. What are we craving? We're craving learning experiences. We're craving, we should have done that. We should have known that. And now we know better. So we will go forth and do better type shit. Because I learned so much about coolant levels and how they rise when you drive. Or the engine, how there's multiple parts in an engine. It's not just one unit. You think, oh, I have a fridge. Nah, bitch. There's a fridge, there's a freezer, there's a vegetable part, that. All that combines into an engine where there's a sidebar, a head bar, some sensors in the fucking back. All these other shits that could break, they will. Because if you decide to drive your car when it overheats, them bitches will warp and overheat your shit even more to make it more expensive. So if your car ever overheats, please stop driving. Stop driving in the name of love type shit, So learning lessons all around in the second trimester. The inside of my RV really came for you, girl. Really, I didn't even send for it. My window shade in my back stopped working randomly. I didn't even yank it hard. Mind you, it had been in the shop for 3 weeks. I hadn't even been touching it, and I came back, and all of a sudden, now my shade won't stay closed. Gotta fix that. My fridge stopped working. Don't know why. My power cord randomly started to stretch. I don't know, North Carolina heat is a bitch. And it stretched, and now my wires are exposed. can't really use it. That's not safe. So I need to get a new cord, which turns out has to be shipped to Thor, and Thor has to ship it back to me. Like, well, I can't be without a power cord. What the fuck? So what did I do? Yep. Your girl bought a power cord that I didn't plan on buying, over $100. I was like, wow, you win some, you lose some, but you learn to fight another day. All right. I don't care that my bathroom wall is starting to peel off and I can like press on it and it cracks. Oh no, that's not going to get me down. The magnets in my shades keep moving around and now only 2 sides work. I'm not going to let that get to me. Oh my gosh. I keep thinking of all these little things and being like, gosh, why do I have to deal with this? And oh my God, it's breaking so soon. That's like buying anything new. It depreciates as soon as you buy it. Same with a car, house, RV, a child, whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever. It will depreciate. So trying to remember that if you're trying to have this perfect vision of what it should be, it's not, bitch. It's not. And when stuff like that happens, you just gotta have a backup plan, or you gotta have the way to work around and problem solve your way out of that hole. For example, I switched up my little van life plan, so I'm not doing it 100% full time anymore because it got to be ridiculous. And so now I'm taking a reprieve and we're going to reroute it in our mind. And then when we're going to, as soon as I get back a little more stable, we're going to like try it maybe again. But for now, I am parking the van at a certain spot on a farm somewhere. Horses, donkeys, chickens. It's lovely here. Thank God I found this place. And now I have an SUV that I drive to and from work and home and all these other things, and to the van. So I'm just like, okay, that wasn't my original plan, but you just gotta roll with it, baby. Big wheel, keep on turning. Proud Mary, keep on burning. Rolling, baby. Rolling down the river. I'm gonna have to watch that Angela Bassett movie again, because man, that was so good. Anyway, it's time for the 3rd trimester. The main thing is I'm trying not to give up on myself and just believe that this is what I wanted to do and I wanted this so bad, and now that I'm in it, don't let that dream go, because it's getting hard out here. It's getting a little rough. But then like it's not that bad, y'all. It's fine. But you know, it's the same as if you like bought a new house, then everything is great, and then boom, water heater goes out. Just had it appraised, doesn't matter. It just happens. Or like your washer and dryer break. That's like now you gotta buy a new one. It's like a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 depending on how bougie you are. But you know, things happen. Everything's not gonna go perfect. People told me it would, like, RV life isn't the easiest, and that's fine. This is what I wanted. This is what I'm gonna do. So we're still doing the van life, still doing the podcast. Please still follow me on Instagram at VanFetus. No spaces because they're lame. On Instagram. Eventually I'm going to start a YouTube. I don't know. Do I need a camera? Do I just use my iPhone? Because the way my iCloud's looking like, they're trying to charge your girl all the time. So I'm not trying to add more on my iCloud to do video storage and whatnot. But yeah, maybe you can see what I'm living and see the struggle and not just hear me talk about it. But yeah, I've been having some adventures in this thing. It's really teaching me how to knuckle down, and when like times of crisis, like you're on the side of the road, people are honking at you, like your dog's freaking out, like your relatives are going crazy, but you're like, you gotta stay focused, you know, stuff like that goes down. It's really building me up, because before didn't have to think about that. I've never experienced it, but now I'm showing myself the kind of grit I never knew existed, which is fantastic. Gotta love that character building life experience. Thanks, universe. What would I do without you? Okay, what a long pregnancy that was. So now let's wrap it up so we can give ourselves a little break. So something about in the wrap up. Number 1, don't give up when it gets hard. Everything can get hard. You have a kid, it can get hard. Don't give up. You get a new puppy, it can get hard. Don't give up. Start a new job, learn a new skill, anything. Just don't give up. Just keep going. Give it at least a year. Like if you're really down to do it, give it at least a year. Don't give up. You owe it to yourself, Believe in your dream, because if you don't, who will? Don't let people sleep on you. You gotta dream big, bitch. Save a fuck ton of money. Like, let's start there. If you're not working, or you don't have a job, remote or Otherwise, you need to get one before you start trying to think about doing van life. Like, yes, it's fabulous. It's cool. I love it. I know I'm talking a lot of shit, but this is the complications episode. I can do that because that's my business. Save a fuck ton of money, like, and have good credit. I mean, I'm not talking like 800, but man, something in the 700s, because you may need to put a loan on an engine. You may need to get your electrical system checked out because all of a sudden your power doesn't want to connect to the shore power, and all of a sudden you need to have a savings. So please do yourself a favor, or have somebody who can help you out, and have a backup plan along with that. Relatives you can stay with if something goes wrong, like a hotel you can stay at a couple days if you have a breakdown issue. Because let me tell you something, these mechanics are on their own time. They don't care that you live in your car. They don't care you got somewhere to go. They know they get paid this much by the hour and they get off at 5. The service department closes at 5, honey. And if you don't call them back to back, they will ignore your ass and just put you on the docket, and they'll say, we'll get to her. No. Be diligent with these mechanics, because these dealerships are the real scammers. Okay? Charging me all for what? Labor. Homeboy was sick for 2 weeks and he ain't touched my shit for 2 weeks. I'm getting upset. I'm going to calm down. Listen to the music. It's all right. We're staying positive because it doesn't matter. It's part of the van journey. This is my journey. You're going to have yours if you decide to do this. But just when you think about it, just remember this wrap up. And don't forget to wrap it up, people. I'm talking to you. You talking to you. Thanks for listening to my podcast. I'm going to try to do another one real soon. Follow me on Instagram at VanFetus, no spaces, bitch. And I will see you next time. See you later, Zyogtes.